So this is Minx's lucky Starfyre, who we just call Minks, and he is the lucky horse that got nominated by me to tag along to Aiken for the week. So this is his fourth or fifth day in Aiken. I'd actually only done one post-track ride on him before he left for Aiken with us, but he comes from a friend of mine who had him turned out for a month or so right when he came off the track. And so I already knew that he was pretty chill, just from talking to my friend who had him for the last couple months. She actually totally adored him and told me that I was going to adore him as well, which she was completely correct. He is just such a pleasant, kind young horse. So I took a leap of faith, stuck him on the trailer, took him to Aiken with us, even though I'd only ridden him once and his only ride post track. But he has been perfect. I mean, whatever you would hope a horse would be like, he just far exceeded any expectations I could have had. So he's been hacking the last couple of days, and yesterday we introduced him to some ground poles, and he was just totally unfazed. So I took a second huge leap of faith with him, and I took him over to the Vista, and we're in the baby field, and he's going to see his first jumps ever. So he has trotted ground poles before today, but not actually ever seen a jump before. So I had no idea what to expect because there is so much going on at the Vista. It's a very big atmosphere for any horse, especially for a baby horse doing their very first jump school. So we found a little log to walk over. Then they had a nice little cross rail set up, so we went over that. And by this point, when he was just so kindly and easily trotting over the cross rail, I knew we were in good shape, like that he was going to be totally game to do whatever I was going to ask him to do. I feel like you always have to be really careful when you're in that position. It's a really awesome position to be in. But when the horse is being just so trusting, you have to make sure that you don't ask too much and break that trust. So I was very careful today. Of course, I had to ask some questions. You know, you have to progress a little bit within a ride and see what a horse is like and what they're going to do and their reaction to things. But you also don't want to take that a step too far. You know, the horse is just completely trusting me. He has no clue how to jump, what jumps are, where he is, what the expectations are. And he was just so happy to go around and do whatever I pointed him at that you have to be careful that you don't take advantage of that trust. So we did a whole bunch of logs. Well, not a whole bunch. We did a couple of logs. And then there's this cute little pipe that was after a ditch. And of course, I didn't want to do a ditch with him, but there was enough room that we could sneak in between the ditch and the pipe, and he had enough room to sort of see where we were going. So he was so darn brave about trotting over that little black pipe. And so after everything that he did, I tried to make a really big fuss out of him, which he absolutely deserved. So then we snuck back in and did it one more time for good measure's sake. Sometimes they'll do something once and you might not even realize it, but maybe they sort of scared themselves or internalized it a little bit. That's why I kind of like to do it all twice to make sure that you go back that second time and you don't all of a sudden have a horse that was like, whoa, that sort of freaked me out. So there was another, maybe slightly bigger pipe on the other side of the field. The reason that I didn't do that one first was because it's right next to the road and there's tons of trucks and trailers and things going by. But after we did the one by the ditch, I felt pretty comfortable that he would be okay to handle that, and he certainly was. So then there was this nice little log along the road, so we popped over this, which he was so darn cute about. Just such a little champion, this horse. And then we came on back to the black pipe, which at this point he's just like, okay, yeah, black pipes, no big deal. Such a good boy. He did not overjump a thing today. I mean, he was just so easygoing about the whole thing. So then at the bottom of the field, it's a little bit on a hill, but there is a nice little log I wanted to do with him. And there's a ton going on here because there's a massive construction project happening in the background, and you can hear all the noise from that. And there's horses there, and they're calling, and you can see horses being worked in the background, but he handled all that really well. So then, this was the big question at the end, the first sort of non-log pipe shaped jump. What a little champion. And it's extra scary because it was in the shade. And I did let him walk up to that first and walk around it so that he wasn't surprised by all of it. But still, I mean, what an awesome little horse ready to just pop over that. So then the last huge question I decided to ask of him, and this can really be opening a can of worms with a young horse, because you can ask a horse to walk into the water, and then you could end up spending 3 hours there trying to get that horse to walk into the water. You really just don't know until you ask, and then you have to be pretty committed to following through. So I'm always a little worried the first time I ask, like, oh God, I hope I'm not getting myself into some sort of crazy adventure trying to get this done for the rest of the day. But oh my God, what a star he is. He had one little sort of sidestepped around the edge for a second. I said, no, no, I really mean it. And then he went. And so, of course, we went back and did it a second time to make sure that the first time wasn't a fluke, or that he didn't sort of become an internal worrier, but he was even better the second time. So we left it there. I felt like we could have done more, but that would have been pushing. That would have been asking too much. He was just totally happy to do everything I asked of him. And then I just like to show them when they loading how good they are. He's superb. And if you're looking at his sweat marks and thinking, I can't believe you put that horse on the trailer sweaty, it's actually because it was a really cold, windy day in Aiken today. And the Vista has a lovely grooming stall set up, but they don't have hot water. And back at the farm where we're staying at my friend's, she has a fabulous hot water wash stall. So he came 15 minutes down the road, and then he got a nice warm bath.
Yeah. Boy. Ja. Got a minute? Good boy, cowboy. Great video. Getting his cookie.